Previously on Dread and Breakfast.
You know, I was just in that time of life when you find out that you were the other woman in the relationship for like a year and a half.
This picture, the caption underneath is you, Tess Ellington, Claudia Rhodes, and Marty Melcher.
I don't recognize my coworker?
Nope. Weird, isn't it?
My name's Agent Carrot.
This is GMC51. It's a genetically modified cryptid.
Goldilocks, his name is MMJ, Mothman Jr.
Your memories of Theo, and by implication, Theo himself, they are fading, and they're fading fast. Our plan is to get some holy ground to help bind it. Hello, Shawn. One of those two bottles clatters onto the ground, skidding across the floor, and the other flies through the spot where you had been and instead strikes Marigold.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'll get it. Just go ahead and leave. You're pretty good at that now, aren't you?
Tess looks at him sideways. We'll deal with that later. And sprints down the street.
All of your hearts are pounding, beating so fast and so hard you're afraid your ribs might crack. Your veins thrum with adrenaline and your minds are racing. Shawn and Carrot, you rush into the garage, and Carrot, you're still carrying Marigold, who's outwardly still a bit indignant, but whose blood has nearly soaked through the bandana you tied around her leg. Tess, you are already there with Amy. You've beaten your friends and Orc's acquaintance, I guess, by a few minutes, but you are still jittery with the rush of your escape from the church. In that time, you've helped Amy carry out some unconventional ghost hunting supplies from Carrot's van, and as you did, you passed by Lewis, who is still asleep on Carrot's fold-out bed. But Tess, as you yourself have mentioned, you're tired. Amy is talking to you, but it takes a second for your brain to register words as something intelligible, and you are pushing your limits. Your body and mind are dulled by exhaustion, so from now on, Tess, whenever you make a pull from the tower, you have to make one extra.
No!
So sorry. So sorry.
This is not my fault.
You have done nothing to fix your exhaustion, so sorry.
What am I supposed to be like? And today, on today's episode of Dread and Breakfast, Tess is gonna take a nap.
Carrot has got to have Red Bull in his fucking van. It doesn't matter, but things are a little bit harder for you to do because you are running on fumes right now.
Cool and great. Awesome.
But Tess, exhaustion notwithstanding, you look up as Carrot, Shawn, and Marigold burst in. For all of you, the past few hours have been a whirlwind. You've all just narrowly escaped the wrath of an Oddity, a creature that up until very recently some of you didn't even know existed. Shawn, Tess, your home, your friends, your memories, all of that was taken from you by this ghost, this H29T. But now, it's time for you to take them back. Welcome to the final part of Spectrophobia. Strap in, motherfuckers. Let's go!
Punch him in the mouth. Punch him in the mouth.
Now, Shawn, now maybe we could have gotten Shadow's help with this part if we hadn't been so swingy back in the church, you know?
Swingy.
He's already eaten two of my friends, so I'm going to punch him in the mouth.
I mean, he hasn't. Can you remember your friends?
Can I, God?
Yeah, Claudia is fuzzy, and Theo is like Claudia is like TV static fuzzy, right? Theo is like a moldy peach, like at the moment. So like, you know.
Am I allowed to object to my character being called a moldy peach? I feel like I should be allowed to object to that.
So, anyway, you are all once again in the garage. Amy and Tess, you have the supplies from Carrot's van on the table. Carrot, this shit came out of your van, so please describe to me, what did Amy find?
Amy found my bulk box of shaving cream. We got a shit ton of it, because I gotta keep the looks up.
But why?
Because I'm off in the wild hunting for ghosts and other such spooky things
Are you
in
sure
the
it's
night.
because there's no one special that you might want to impress?
I'm absolutely sure of that. There
Are
is
you
no one
sure?
there is no one like that in my life, Christine. You are not in this room right now to say these words.
As you carry Marigold in bridal style. But yeah, okay, so there is like 10 things of shaving cream on the table. What else did Amy find in your van?
Let's call them experimental gloves.
Oh,
Oh, so now we have 2 pairs?
what is different about these gloves?
These are like a prototype from Carson that I got by like borrowing and stealing them from him. For the listener, Carson's a guy who did a thing in like past episodes.
Spectrophobia story 2, yeah.
But Carson designed the gloves, and I think Carson begrudgingly gave me my own set. It does sometimes go on the fritz, and they don't always work, but it's better than nothing.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So, shaving cream and gloves, Tess, is what you and Amy have unloaded from this van.
That's it?
God,
Yes.
I think, and this is just me being pedantic, but also because I want to pull from the tower.
Okay, you can always pull for any reason.
Well, I think that in the spirit of dread, when you are acquiring something that is not strictly on your character sheet, I think you do sometimes pull from the tower.
I mean, my friend, my
Yes.
sweet friend,
Yes.
if you want to pull to have some fucking gloves, pull for some gloves. I
I'm
was just going
pulling
to give
for
that to you
gloves,
out
baby.
of the goodness of my heart.
Fabrice, your priorities just continue to astound me. Like,
What do you mean?
Marissa gave you the thing, and then you were like, nah. I feel like now is the time that I need to pull for this. Like,
I'm following the rules, kind of.
right, but I guess that seems more Theo than Fob.
Here's what
fair.
I will say. We will use that pull as a determiner for how on the fritz these gloves are, right? So originally in my head, I was like, all right, they work 25% of the time. With your successful pull, it'll be like a 50-50 shot whether or not they work.
Okay.
I can
So
take that.
you have upped their efficiency.
Can I pull again to up their efficiency? more?
Absolutely fucking not. It is, we need to move the story along. This is the finale of this arc.
Bummer.
Let's go. So you all rush into the garage. Tess, you were already with Amy.
So like we rush in, and I would like to like push everything off the table and push it onto the floor and plop Marigold on the table because
Yeah.
we need to take care of this shit right now.
Yes, there is still a first aid kit. We'll say that was also like on the table. So you grab that, you shove everything off to the side, and like Amy starts freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, what happened? What, Mom, are you okay? Like what happened?"
Yeah, well, the ghost, which was successfully removed from this house and contained at another location, you're welcome. So we saw that ghost again. It threatened to kill you and then threw some glass at your mom. So that was cool and fun, but we got the dirt. So call up the ghost team medical service or whatever, and let's, how do we get the ghost out?
Wait, why was he mad at me? I was nothing but nice to Shadow. I gave him a bunch of new dresses and put him in a little hat.
Amy, I believe that you may have answered your own question. I think that might have answered itself, you know?
So, Carrot, you were the one taking care of Marigold, I assume?
I was not going to, actually. I just put her on the table, and it's like, all right, cool, medical bag, great. Someone that knows something about this can fix it.
I think Tess would know some basic first aid.
She did take that very good class from Jill, absolutely. And because you have had training in some sense, you will not have to pull. You are able to clean the wound, dress it as best you can with what you have in the first aid kit.
Cool. I was going to get really in depth with first aid stuff, but that's not interesting. So
Oh, you can if you would like to.
no, I mean, like, is she still, like you said, she's still bleeding, like, through the handkerchief? Like, is there still an active bleed happening?
It is slowed down, but it is still bleeding, yes. It got
Okay.
very, very deep, and, like, the gash is about as long as, like your index finger. Like, it was a pretty a decently long one.
Okay, this would
It's dread. It's dangerous.
Yeah, I know. I'm just concerned about the fact that okay, I'm not but I'm not chill. Okay, but okay. Okay, Marigold, you need to keep putting pressure on this because you're really badly cut. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I can walk. It will be fine. So we just need to come up with a plan.
Sorry for caring about you, but yeah, don't just keep putting pressure on the wound, okay? And then she walks away.
Are you sure there's not a medical branch of your secret ghost hunters club? Can't we call them? Or just a regular ambulance, I guess?
And at that, Marigold kind of bristles, Shawn, and she says, "We are not calling conventional authorities in until we have this situation under control. I've suffered. Carrot's missing an eye. This happens. So what is the plan? Why is there shaving cream on the ground?"
So Amy and I got this shaving cream out of the van because we're dealing with a reflection ghost, right? So how can we get rid of all of the reflective surfaces? That's basically what we're thinking. And I don't know if we have enough blankets in the house or whatever, but shaving cream on the windows, cover up the reflection, right?
That works. And then we're going to get the ghost to manifest in the one little locket mirror. And we're going to once it's manifesting there, once it's there, then we're going to put that in a bag full of dirt.
Which Tess holds up.
Yeah, that bag. And then it's trapped.
Yeah, and this is Amy. Well, it glitches out with light, so we just have to use our light stuff, right? And Amy holds up. She has a pocket flashlight, one that is on her keychain. Those little tiny things that light up.
Yeah.
I have a horrible question though. Mm-hmm. Do our lights still work after Shadow messed with them?
So thank you so much, Tess, for this beautiful segue. Shawn, you dropped your flashlight on the ground and never picked it up, so that is still at the church.
Whoops.
Tess, your ring light does not function.
No.
Wait.
Carrot.
I turned mine off.
Yes, so your industrial flashlight is still functioning.
Fuck yeah.
But other than that, and the little keychain thing that Amy has, that's all that you got.
Fuck off.
Where did Lewis drop his camera?
He dropped it on the stairs, going up to, from the basement. So his camera is still somewhere either on the stairs or in the basement.
Adds to-do list. Grab camera on stairs. Also, just point of order, is Lewis still out for the count for this? He's still just asleep?
He is sleeping for 8 hours.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
I fucking guess he's having a cool snooze fest in the van.
Jealous.
Yeah, poor Lewis. He had a real Act 3 arc too. It's a shame.
Oh no.
So Marigold goes to stand up from her table and she almost eats shit. She stumbles and Amy has to steady her. And Amy's like, "Mom, you can't come. You gotta sit this one out. Carrot, back me up here."
Goldilocks is right. You're not fit for duty right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, plus your blood seems like it would be reflective, so maybe we don't need to add any more pools of that to the house.
Hey, Shawn, can I tell you something right now? That's a fucking great up point you're making right there. Hey, Goldilocks, sit the fuck down. Your blood's gonna get us all killed.
Okay, fine. Then I will handle things on this end so that you get out safe. Just, do you have any questions for me? Because I can't really talk to you once you're in the house.
How do we get to the center? I don't really remember that part. And I think walking around in a labyrinth like that right now with it out is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, how do we make sure that we cover all exits and ensuring that it's going to come through the mirror that we want it to come through? How do we do that?
It'll come through that mirror when it can't come through any others. And it wants to get us.
Carrot's right. Just narrow its opportunities to pop through something. By shaving cream, blankets were a good idea. The mirror's in the basement. The main path is a spiral that leads to the center. The center is where it took Claudia and probably Theo. Go into the rightmost hallway entrance. Do not branch off and stick to the left. Eventually you'll get there. And do not touch the mirrors.
Why? What would happen if we touch them?
Marigold, like, the more she is having to divulge, the more, like, pained she looks physically and, like, mentally.
Cool. Okay, so we just gotta go in because she's gonna die. Okay.
Well, she says the mirrors are designed so that they are easy to manifest through for oddities as well as people. If you jump through one, you'll come out of another, but I don't know how to control where you end up. It's also extremely dangerous. We don't know the long-term effects. There hasn't been any double-blind studies, so just don't touch anything.
Cool. Don't touch creepy ghost shit. Got it.
Shawn, that is just a good general rule of thumb, that is.
Says the man with a Mothman Jr. on his shoulder.
He is not a ghost, he is a cryptid. There is a difference. I will fight you on this woman.
And Marigold, her laptop was on that table. Carrot, we'll say you didn't push that very expensive piece of equipment off because it was sitting like on the end with the first aid kit. She drags that over to her. And as you're watching, that energy reading is still ticking up. And unfortunately, when you left for the church, it was at like a 60 out of 100. Now it's at like a 90.
Fuck. We gotta go.
Tess grabs a bottle of shaving cream and like tosses it to Shawn.
I'll take it and got my good punching gloves. And still a little bit of ghost dust. That could be handy.
Wait, ghost dust? Like from Mothy, or are you talking about the
No.
shavings?
No, he's got
the
the shavings.
I think, yeah, you have like enough maybe for like one use and that's it.
It's more than none.
You have exactly one pocket sand.
Yeah, one pocket sand.
I will ask, does someone else want Carrot's ghost gloves? Because Carrot wasn't necessarily going to take those. Carrot has like,
Sure, Tess will
shaving
take
creams.
them.
Okay.
Wait,
Sweet.
are these the 50-50 ones?
Yes.
All right, I guess I'll take the 50-50 gloves because there's no use in
Excellent.
leaving them behind.
I think Carrot just has flashlight and then shaving creams, like not like a bandolier of shaving creams, but that's the idea of what I'm going for.
I like in my heart of hearts, Carrot is wearing cargo pants, so you can fit maybe 6 of them in your bad boys. So I think you're
Wonderful.
good.
Okay.
So how do you plan on getting in the house? There are a couple of entrances. There's the back door that leads directly to the basement and the back stairway. There's the front door to the foyer. Or in the first episode, which was eons ago, y'all broke Lewis's window, and Lewis lives on the first floor, so you could climb in that way if you so choose.
I have an idea. Because it sounds like Amy is part of our coterie now.
No one has stopped her, and she has
Okay.
also loaded up on shaving cream, like, to the max.
Okay. I know this worked so well the last time we tried to do this, but what if Amy tries to distract the ghost for us so that we can get in, like, unassaulted?
Yeah, I can do that. Do you want me to, like, run upstairs? And I have a shit ton of blankets. We use one for that shitty blanket fort in episode 2. So, like, I can go get those and distract it on my way and regroup with you in the basement.
Or you could go upstairs, make a lot of noise, and then stay there.
Don't we have to cover like every reflective surface in the house? Like we're going to have to go upstairs too.
Not
No.
necessarily.
It knows where we are. It's not gonna manifest upstairs if we're downstairs. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
It's
Sorry, I'll pretend to be a character that is smart.
No, that is a fair point because, like, technically, it could yeet itself up to like the top floor to escape if you corner it. You have not seen it run from you yet. It has only attacked you.
and it's stronger now. So what we're gonna want to do is surprise it. It doesn't know we have a plan to snare the bugger. It's gonna manifest in the mirror thinking it's got us, and then bam, into the dead.
Sounds like a plan.
Marigold is, applying pressure to her wound. She has her laptop near her. She watches with her free hand, pulls out her cell phone, and she pulls Amy in for like a really tight hug and whispers something into her ear. And then when that embrace ends, she looks at all of you in turn very seriously and says, "Good luck."
All right, here we go.
Which way are you three going in, and which way does Amy, the one-woman distraction, do you want her to go in?
What's the quickest way for us to get into the basement?
Yeah.
And what's the quickest way for Amy to get upstairs?
Both would be the same. So the back staircase just connects like everyone's apartment to the basement. So the quickest way for her to get upstairs would be that one, and the quickest way for you to get to the basement would also be that one.
Is that also the stairwell where the camera is?
Yes.
Cool, let's do that.
Is there a front staircase?
Yes. Amy could go through the front. It would just take her a little bit longer.
I think that's better because then that has more space between her and us.
Cool.
Okay. Then Amy gives you all like the dopest high five that you've ever had in your entire life.
Hell yeah.
And she's like, don't die, I guess. I'll meet up with you in, I don't know, a little bit. Okay, bye. And then she fucking sprints around the other side of the house. So you head around back to the basement, like back stairway, and inside the house is not quite the same as it was when you last left it.
Oh?
The windows that face the outside, you all remember, they're like leading down that stairway. There are those like storm, like glass block windows. All of those are covered in thin spiderwebbing cracks. And all along the stairs, you see that all of the back doors to all of your apartments are open. And from these doors, in front of them, and cascading down the steps, is a blanket of glass. You see shattered vases. You see, like, plates. You see knives. You see bowls. You see anything that is reflective from all of your apartments, like some objects you recognize. These things twinkle like stars at you in the dim lights you shine at them. As you walk in, you all hear Claudia's song, but only pieces of it. A mere whisper of a melody lurking in the corners, first above you, then below you, then next to you, in all of these new scattered places for H19 to travel. And that song that you've been hearing stops abruptly when you hear the front door open and slam shut. And you can't hear what she says, but you can hear Amy yelling something. And then you hear like the very distant footfalls of her. It sounds like she like runs all the way up the stairs and then kicks something and runs down the stairs and then back up them. Like she is taking her job very seriously.
Good.
Right. So we're going hot and heavy with the shaving cream right away.
Yeah.
Just a big old layer of that shit right on the ground.
I need one of you to make me a pull. Who's on shaving cream duty to make sure you get all of them, or at least almost all of them.
Well, not me, because I'm double pull McGee, so...
I think I suggested it, so it's only fair that I do the thing.
I agree.
All right, Carrot.
This is the most diplomatic we've ever been about tower polls.
I know. Okay.
Ooh.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Carrot, under your direction, you are able to get the windows, you get the steps. You do it so well that you don't have to pull for like sliding on shaving cream going down, because that is also a thing to consider.
That's fair.
On the way down, you all find Lewis's camera. It's like near the bottom of the steps. It looks like it took a tumble when he dropped it. The lens is cracked, but it does look usable.
That's fine.
Tess, you grab the camera, you test it, there's a flash.
Perfect.
You have all, at this point, reached the basement floor, and there is quiet. You don't know where the oddity is. You don't know from which of the ample reflective surfaces it might be watching you, but you don't hear anything yet.
Cool.
The water in this part of the basement has not yet receded. As you remember, it creeps out from that storeroom door, which is still open. There are spotty patches of water, but otherwise it is cement.
And you would also remember that to get to the mirror zone, you go through the storage room like hallway and then through that locked black door into the mirror zone.
There is a laundry zone down here, right?
Yes, there is.
Cool. Tess is going to run and grab the load of laundry that Claudia left in the dryer and scatter it around to try and mop up the water so that it's not reflective.
Hey, Tess, that's a great fucking idea. I would give you inspiration if this was D&D.
Well, you know what you could do?
Yeah, what could I do?
You could make me not have to pull.
You're not going to pull for this one because you are just throwing t-shirts on the ground, and I'm pretty sure Tess can do that without much difficulty.
Sweet.
As tired as she is.
That's just unpacking.
Yeah. That's easy. Claudia has a lot of laundry down here, so we'll say that you are able to make basically a 4-person wide path from like the safe part of the basement to that storage room hallway. And I think you would have maybe like 4 shirts left over if you wanted to throw that in the storage room hallway as well.
Sure.
Excellent. You all go forward into that storage room, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Excellent. So as you all remember, this room is full of a bunch of shit, including that glass coffee table. But instead of everything being propped up neatly, the glass top has cracked and shards are scattered across the space. Tess, you're able to make it halfway with your little t-shirt barrier, but there's still some things. And across this space, you see that black mat door, which is closed.
Shawn will cream the glass shards.
Yeah, you do. And it's you all kind of get this like sense of not cockiness, but you're all emboldened. Like your plan is working, and you all, cream, which is just a lovely adjective. Thank you, Jacob. All the reflective surfaces that you can. There is still the water that you're standing in, and you approach this black mat door, and to remind you, it has the runes around its door frame, and there is a keypad and also a fingerprint scanner. And Carrot, when you try this door, it is locked.
I try my hand on the fingerprint scanner.
Yeah, you pop your thumb on there, lights up red, is still locked.
Would the gloves help?
Fuck.
Yeah, you try it with the gloves, still nothing.
What about with the real gloves? Can I try it with the real gloves?
You absolutely can. Make me a pull. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to make me a pull. Still nothing. It is locked. And on that screen, a little message comes up that's no DNA match.
Damn it.
As you're standing there, you start to hear footsteps on the other side of the door. And you hear someone trip and fall. And you hear a voice.
Oh no.
Hey, Fob, what do they hear?
Shawn.
Theo? Is that
Hey,
you? Are you okay?
Tess?
I don't know if this is real. Shawn, it might not be him. It might not be him. Like a chill goes down Tess's spine as she's saying this.
Who else would it be?
But it could... he got sucked in. It could be bad, Theo.
How do we know? How can we check? It could be him.
Is Carrot here? Carrot, do you hear him? Do you hear something?
God, I'm assuming that Carrot does hear this.
Yeah, everyone can hear this.
Just making
yes.
sure.
Damn, okay,
yeah.
there goes my theory.
Yeah. Is that your friend?
Yeah. That's Theo. Is he okay? Is he there?
I don't know.
And from the other side of the door, you hear someone start to fiddle with the lock on the door. It's a very complicated mechanism, but for someone who's able to pick locks...
Tess readies the camera.
Okay.
So you guys hear
Oh, thank God.
and then the lock sound fiddles faster as it hurriedly being tried to open.
The fingerprint scanner short circuits, goes dark, and you hear the door unlock. And Theo, I'd imagine you'd pull open the door.
I pull open the door.
Tess takes the picture.
Make me pull.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is 2. So sorry. Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right, here's
sorry,
one.
Tess.
If it's really him, and then I'll just get a rad picture of him. But if it's not, then,
Oh, no.
It's gonna be the
Oh god, okay, that was
Okay,
one.
one
That was one. Okay, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can.
It's gonna be the
do it.
first
It is-
photo
Oh,
of
no.
your new
It's
photo
fine.
wall.
It's all right.
Flash.
like
Yeah,
fuck.
like Theo spasms, kind of stumbles, and Tess, Shawn, and I guess Carrot. You're seeing this man for the first time, but Theo looks rough. His hair is tousled. There are dark splotches of ink on most of his shirt and his pants. There's even a bit of it smeared on his cheek, and he's on the ground.
I look up.
my God,
I look
okay.
up at Tess and Shawn and I guess Carrot, but not really. I'm mostly looking at Tess and Shawn, and I'm just you see like a big smile and just, I'm magic, baby. I just jumped through fucking time and space.
Oh my god. And Tess runs over and just bear hugs him and is crying.
Shawn also, but without the tears. But yeah, you can give that guy a hug.
Carrot is just like, and then they're both just run in for the hug, and Carrot can't really get a word out edgewise.
As you go to embrace Theo, both of you are wearing the gloves, and you pull him into this hug, just wrapping your arms around him, and you're just so elated, holy shit, he got out. But your arms pass through him.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Your hands stay firm, and Theo, still in that puddle of water, you realize as you are hugging him, he is shorter than you remember, because he's up to his ankles in the water, and that doesn't make sense because the water isn't that deep.
Oh, wait.
And you see the happy beaming smile of Theo just turn evil and wicked, and the eyes are suddenly just glinted with malice, and it just grabs both of you in an iron grip and starts to drag down.
Both of you make me a pull, please.
Oh shit. But hold up, but I took a picture of him and
You did, and it's almost as if the oddity has gotten stronger and things are less effective as they once were.
All right, here I go.
No.
He did
the oddity
spasm.
got stronger and I remained dumb. All
right, thank you, Shawn.
Roller coaster for Tess. She just thought that he's back, and oh my gosh.
I'm sorry that I ruined everyone's life.
You guys have so much.
too mean.
You guys, I'm so excited for the breakfast where I get to talk to you about.
Oh,
no! Oh!
Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. What a way to go. Oh shit. All right, lay it on me. What happens here?
So, Tess, you have knocked over the tower.
Oh, yeah.
And you had gone to hug Theo first. Theo, who you realized too late was the much, much stronger H219. So this ghost has a better hold on you than it does on Shawn. So when it goes to pull you down, Shawn, you're able to slip out of its grasp. You kind of sidestep out of its reach and take a step back. Tess, as it's pulling you down, that disguise drops. It's not Theo anymore. The color seeps out of his eyes, leaving them a milky corpse white, and it's this watercolor, shadowy, undulating, multifaceted monster. It slides down and you feel yourself go with it. But at the last second, Carrot gets you in a bear hug from behind and hoists you out of the way. Tess, you are doomed, but for now, you are safe.
Oh.
It seems.
Oh.
As a reminder, when you knock the tower over in the Horror RPG Dread, you are either immediately removed from the game, or you are doomed, which means that you can be removed at any time. So,
Okay.
Carrot, you yank Tess back. You all kind of stumble 8 steps backwards. There is still water on the ground, and you see H219 rise up from the water again, but it only is attached by inches now. And you watch as it gets angry. some of its form sloughs off of it like mud oozing over flesh, and wisps of its watercolor form merge and melt and reform themselves until it sprouts another arm, and then another, and another. A dozen long limbs that each sprout hands with spindly fingers emerge from this thing. And H219 looks at you, and still in Theo's voice, it growls,
I am going to get out, or you are going to die.
and it shoves one of its hands into the water at its feet. And Carrot, like you do a head count, like you are trying to see who is going to go after. Even in the dim light, you catch a quick glimpse of your reflection in Shawn's glasses. But it's not your reflection that you see, it's H219's hand manifesting out through Shawn's glasses. And so Shawn, you have the unique perspective to see first one arm reach through your left lens and then another out through your right as your glasses shatter and crack. Carrot, I need you to make me a pull, please, as it reaches for you.
You got it.
Oh, and Fob, while you're doing that, just a note about the tower. We have rebuilt it after Tess knocked it over. Oopsie doozy. And we've also all made 3 pulls for a total of 12. So it is still pretty unsteady. And we still have that good tower tension going.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Come at me.
Shawn, these things shoot out of your glasses, cracking them to bits. And Carrot, you watch as one, or you feel, I guess, as one latches around your throat and the other around, it actually grabs Mothman Jr.
Yes.
No!
I think if you grabbed Mothman Jr., he's gonna be a bit surprised by that and might do a little dust on ya.
All right, roll me a d6.
All right.
Let's see what machinations are coming.
Come on, Nutty.
It's a 5.
It's a 5? All right, fine. Yeah, why not? Cool. Let me think about what is near you. Oh, yeah, fuck it. All right. Mothman Jr. is grabbed and he reflexively just shoots out this bout of dust. And you rolled a 5, which, as we all fucking remember from the church bullshit, is something randomly telepathically breaks. So, Shawn, your, glasses right at the bridge where they meet snaps in half. And they fall from your face, which disrupts the angle that the arms were coming out at. And the ghost was not expecting this turn of events, and its arms were at, how tall is Shawn? 5'6" level, and suddenly they're ground level. So that momentum breaks its hold on you, Carrot, and the arms just kind of suck back into the things. Point of order, though. Shawn, your glasses are now broken and on the ground, which means you can't see too good, which also means that, like your doomed counterpart, whenever you make a pull, it needs to have an extra one because you can't see shit.
Yay, great. Speaking of poles, where's the ghost now that I can see, at least?
The ghost is still in front of you. It stands up now with all of these arms. Behind it, you do see the mirror zone. You're about 10 feet from it.
Yeah, I would like to pocket sand it.
All right. Shawn, I'm gonna make you pull, though. Make me 2 pulls because now you are blindly throwing.
Yeah, but it's a fresh-ish tower, baby.
It's a beautiful, fresh,
You are
and strong
welcome.
tower.
Shawn, I gotta
My
say,
death is your game.
I saw the eye of the tiger in you, and I knew that you had what it takes to make this really good fucking decision right now.
I've done both my pulls.
Excellent.
Shawn, yes, even though the world consists of vague blurs, you launch the last of these iron shavings towards the blur that you know to be H219, and you hit it. You fucking hit it.
Yeah.
This thing, much like when Tess, you flashed it with the camera, it spasms and kind of twitches. It is still much more vital than you thought, but you all have a second to run.
How effective might punching be?
Shawn, I will do this for you. Because you've already pocket sanded it, you will only have to make 1 pull to punch it, because it is a still target.
I will accept this offer.
All right. All right. The 1-2 punch. Okay. All right.
Cool.
All right, so why are we already this bad? Damn it. Oh, okay. Anyway, so
We did this to ourselves.
Shawn, yeah, you, like, in one hand you have the pocket sand, you throw it in a beautiful arc, it gets, like, right in this thing's eyes, and then in 3 quick steps you are at it and you punch it in the fucking jaw. This thing doesn't have bones, but if it did, you would have heard a very satisfying crunch.
Ooh.
And it, like, falls down, and it falls down into the water, into this mirror, and is gone.
Cool. Time to run.
Into the maze. Into the maze.
Cool. Into the maze. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so you all run into the mirrors. Your footsteps splash against the puddles of water that are all over this floor. And just as Theo had seen, you see this disorienting array of hallways with all of these mirrors. There are large ones, small ones at odd angles, one hanging from ceilings on the ground, and it's so disorienting. And Carrot, you knew what to expect, kind of, but even you are dizzied by the sheer optical fuckery of this funhouse maze. So are you running? Are you being cautious? Like, what is the vibe here?
I think I'm running, and I am, as they say, run and gun. I got my shaving creams out, and I'm just like, everywhere.
All right, excellent.
Tess would follow his lead.
Yeah, Shawn is behind, squinting and hopefully maybe grabbing onto somebody for some guidance or something.
I mean, okay, as a professional half-blind person, like, I have vision issues out the wazoo. You would still be able to see us and, like, you know what we look like, so we would just be blurry.
Yeah.
It's like when you're looking through a camera that is unfocused. So, like, you can't see details, but you know what we look like, how big we are, what we're wearing, so you would be able to recognize us and follow us.
Neat.
Yeah, it's so confusing. You are spray painting everything, like, on the way, and you see, you know, your reflection in front of you, and you turn one of the corners and you see, like, Tess's reflection just a second before your own, just the way these things are angled, and you round another corner and the reflection you see is H219. You all Scooby-Doo style, like, Carrot, you, like, run in, and then Tess, like, bumps into you, and then Shawn bumps into her, and you all stumble into this opening. It's like a little clearing of mirrors. The hallway kind of widens surrounding you, and you hear that the Oddity is singing again, but the song seems different. It's darker, and just for a split second, all of your gazes are redirected towards a mirror, and you just barely glance at it, even if you weren't trying to, and you feel yourselves, all of you, being drawn in. Something is tugging at you, tugging at your minds, but also at sinew and bone and blood and veins as it tries to put you in that trance again. The trance where you start moving towards these mirrors and into them. Carrot, I think you are the only one who hasn't had this happen to you yet.
Yeah.
So you are not practiced at this, so to speak. I will need you to make me a pull.
That's fair.
But bonus points, Shawn and Tess, you've been through this already. Like, you're like, that's
Yay.
not you.
So we're fully aware of what horrible thing is happening.
All right. And just like that, we're right back in the danger zone.
Cool.
All right, Carrot, like, you feel yourself take a step towards this mirror, but you feel like Mothman Jr. kind of, like, bite your ear a little bit, and that stops you. But you turn to look towards Shawn and Tess, and you feel like you can't. Like, you are still looking at this mirror, and Tess and Shawn, you're both gazing into your reflected mirrors, and you are all mesmerized by what you see in each of them. Before, H219 had been sifting through your memories for things that could allure you, things to draw you in. But this time, it taps into a different sort of memory. And these memories engulf you all. Carrot, in your mirror, you are thrust back into a memory that you had when you were very young. You see yourself exploring the woods with some of your friends, and you can almost feel the blades of grass press up against the skin of your ankles as you stand at the edge of this ravine. You can hear echoes of your friends' voices as you're daring each other to take a step further. And Carrot, how do you feel in this moment?
In this exact moment, happy. I'm with my mates. We're just being little rascals, aren't we? We're just daring to see who can go closest to the edge. You know, who's the bravest of all of us.
Yeah, and it's you're filled with this bravado, Carrot. I feel like even as, like a 12-year-old, you have just this larger than life energy about you. Your heart is like pounding with like this adrenaline. You turn around so that your back is to the ravine and you're like giving your friends finger guns as you dramatically like take a step backwards, and they all like scream and pretend to be afraid. And it's so windy up here. Your like hair is tousled. You're taller than some of the trees below you, and you take another step backward and then another step backward, and for one sickening second you feel the earth crumble beneath you. And then, Carrot, you are falling. Wind rushes against your skin. Your eyes water. Your arms are flailing. You turn so that your face is looking at the ground. And you're flailing your arms. You're trying to hold on to something, but there is just empty air. And you know what happens next. You remember the crunch when you hit the branches on the topmost trees. You remember feeling the bone in your arm snap when you finally hit the ground. You were okay, except for a broken arm. You know that. But in this moment, in this mirror, it's like your memory keeps being rewound and replaying just that horrible, sickening moment of falling. The ground rushing at you, your stomach turning in this outright panic of weightlessness. And you stay suspended in that moment, paralyzed in front of this mirror. Tess. In your mirror,
Oh no.
H219 doesn't have to go back as far. You see yourself 6 months ago. You can feel the smooth paper that you're holding in your hand, your official notice informing you that you've just been fired from your job. You were so overwhelmed that you decided to go to your partner Taylor's house unannounced. You and Taylor had been dating for 3 years at the time, so of course you had a key to the apartment, and when you open the door, Tess, that's the moment being reflected at you.
Ugh.
What do you see?
At first I just see Taylor, and then I hear a laugh, and they shift, and I see there's another woman on the couch, and they're intertwined.
And what do you feel?
Just like the pit of my stomach just like dropping. Like I already felt like I was having the worst day of my life, and now it's 10 times worse, and I just like can't believe the betrayal that is happening right now.
You're stuck there, hovering in that doorway, your mind stunned into a thoughtless void, but your emotions a whirlwind of shock and anger, disbelief, shame. Tess, you know this is what catapulted you to go and find yourself in Brighton. You know you come back from this moment, but back then, you could move, you could leave, you could go home. But for now, you are stuck. Shawn.
Scared.
The memory that H219 rips from your mind and projects is also from 6 months ago. Just after Tess's memory, actually. You see yourself in Tess's apartment, the place completely disheveled from Tess's days of emotional distress after the incidents that we had just described. Half-open ramen packets and still full mugs of tea litter the end table, and Tess is a lump on her couch, and you see yourself there with her. What did you do in this moment? How did you try to console her?
I brought a new game for us to play to try to get her mind off stuff.
Yeah, like this was, you came to help cheer her up. This was before she made the choice to run away to Brighton, when she was still reeling from her world falling apart.
Run away, apt choice of words.
And you tried. You can hear echoes of
Tess,
yourself, trying to get her
Shawn,
to
you got a
talk,
minute?
or at the very least distract her. But you also hear when Tess snaps. You hear her Shawn. You hear her say,
"It's so typical of you, Shawn. You just waltz in here with all your games, as if pretending is gonna solve anything. Life isn't a game. Some people have real problems, okay? Games. That's what you've got? Your games don't even matter anyway. Nobody gives a shit about you and your stupid fucking board games. Fuck you, Shawn."
That was the last thing Tess said to you before she left. And you're hearing it again and again, played over and over in this moment. Nobody gives a shit about you, Shawn. Fuck you. Fuck everything you've been striving for. And you know Tess was just lashing out. And deep down, you know that even if she never actually apologized, you know she didn't actually mean it. But her words are like needles to you, Shawn. And just like the rest of your friends, they are needles that H219 is using to pin all of you down like squirming little insects.
Oh,
Fob,
fuck.
I need you to roll me a d6.
All right.
Oh, Mothman, save the day!
That's a 2.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, fuck.
Interesting.
It's the portal to hell, y'all.
Oh no.
Okay. So a 2.
Uh-huh.
It's that Mothman Jr. receives an ominous premonition of terrible things to come. So
Mothman Jr. sees this exact moment.
Carrot, as you are paralyzed, and Shawn and Tess, you are all as well, but Mothman Jr. isn't. It's almost like H219 hasn't prioritized the mind of a genetically modified cryptid puffball.
That's much to his detriment, that is.
Maybe, because Mothman Jr. on your shoulder very defiantly bristles up and sneezes.
Yes!
And you also see him immediately after that, as the dust settles, straighten up and go completely rigid. And that iridescent sheen in his eyes glosses over until they're completely black. And unfortunately for H219, some of the dust got on the mirror you in front of, Carrot. And in that mirror, and in all of the mirrors that you were in front of, the same ominous vision of terrible things to come that's reflected in Mothman Jr.'s eyes is reflected in these mirrors in front of you.
Oh!
And you all see white. A blinding, total whiteness that is impenetrable. It takes a moment, but the vision slowly comes into focus and you realize that you are seeing a barren snowscape. And the vision refocuses again and you see a bright spot of blood spattered across the snow. And the vision refocuses one last time and you see the door to some sort of building or bunker snow whirling past in this wind. And the door is hanging open, nearly off of its hinges. And that vision only lasts a couple seconds and it doesn't make sense to any of you. But in that split second, Shawn, you are able to break free of the thrall.
Okay.
Besides you, you can see into your friends' mirrors. You see Tess, that horrible moment. You see Carrot's terrifying perpetual fall. And you see H219 reflected in the background of all of them, in all of your friends' nightmares. And its shadowy form looks kind of distracted, like it's concentrating very hard on maintaining all of these visions all at once. And all of your friends are trapped, but you are free. Do you help them, or do you leave them behind?
There's not a form of the ghost that I can punch, is there?
No, it is in the mirror. You can shatter the mirrors, though, if you would like.
That just creates more reflective surfaces. So yeah, what I would like to do is shake them or try to pull them away from their mirrors and wake up, guys, get out.
Tess, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and it's like, because like you feel like you're in that moment, right? Like you feel like you are in that doorway. You feel isolated and
super alone.
Absolutely. You're still in that memory, but in that moment, like you feel Shawn grab your shoulder and like turn you around. And it's like in that moment, Shawn was there for you. And as you look at Shawn, you kind of blink a couple times and you recenter yourself and you are in the mirror zone. You're not at Taylor's apartment anymore, and you are out. Shawn, you do the same thing to Carrot. It's like you are falling, you are hurtling towards the ground that is never going to come to meet you. You are just suspended in this moment, and you feel Shawn grab your arm and catch you, and you are back in the mirror zone.
That's fucked. This thing is not a friendly.
H219 is still in the mirror, so if anyone would like to shaving cream something, now might be a good time.
Yes, I do that.
Yeah.
That is my instinct. I am pulled out and instantly I have...
Tess would follow suit.
And Shawn also.
Yeah, it's like a fucking action movie. Like, so you're all back to back, just shaving cream both hands, like spinning in a circle, and you're just like...
yeah!
H219 doesn't move to stop you. Like, once you were all free of its visions, it just stood there glaring at all of you, and all of its arms are undulating and moving and kind of waving in this wind none of you can feel, and it looks impressed as you shaving cream it over, and eventually you cannot see it.
Get out the mirror. Get out the little hand mirror. Get out the little one.
It's out.
Yeah, Tess grabs the bag of dirt and opens it up.
I will say, you are not in the center yet. You are very close to it. There is still like a hallway branching to the middle.
Fuck. Not yet. We gotta... I'm sorry. I thought we were in the center.
No, it's okay. It will be very obvious when you are.
Fair enough.
Oh,
You
no.
are-
I don't think I like that, actually, God.
Sorry. But yeah, you're just in this kind of like, it's like a little like alcove of mirrors, I guess, for lack of a better description. And you have improv'd a little safe spot. And you are all standing there, I would imagine pretty shaken.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have a moment of respite if you would like one.
Take a short rest.
Yeah.
Recharge some spell slots, maybe.
Anyway, back to the game we are playing.
Well, I think it is best in these kinds of moments to take a mo for yourselves and recenter, you know? Don't know what just happened to both of you. Don't care. I'm taking 5. And Carrot, like, just goes and sits down.
And Mothman Jr. kind of like pops onto your head and is like, "Zzz," and does a little bow and like a little curtsy because he's very proud of himself.
I give him some pocket jerky.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? You have pocket jerky. What flavor?
Teriyaki.
I think Tess would just kind of look over at Shawn, and there's a moment of recognition there for what he just did for everybody. Thank you. How did you break out of it?
So really, we're just gonna keep pretending it never happened, and we're just like the best of friends still?
Were you reliving what I said to you?
Yeah, it was worse than it was that night.
Shawn, I can't tell you how much I regret saying what I said. It was all I could think about when I was in Brighton the entire time, and it was so overwhelming that I didn't even know how to begin to address it.
So you just didn't at all? You wanted to pretend it never happened?
No, that's not what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to reach out to you to tell you that I am so sorry. It was the depression monster, and I know that that's not an excuse, but if I could go back and change it, I would.
Well, we're a little past that, I think. Although, I don't know, these ghosts are in our brains. Who knows what's happening next? That was a joke.
I laughed.
I'm laughing. I'm just away from the mic. I didn't want
to ruin the moment.
I also did not want to.
Oh, God forbid anybody hear you in our audio podcast.
Oh, that's, okay, that's fair.
Look, we've got a lot to deal with tonight. This is something I do want to deal with, though. Can you at least promise me that we can talk about this? I don't want this to continue to mess up our friendship.
better late than never, I guess. If when things get back to normal, we can talk about it, I guess.
Okay. And thank you for rescuing me from my memory. I was reliving a moment where I felt more alone than I ever had been. And then you pulled me out of that. That means a lot to me, as fucked up as the situation is.
Yeah, well, I know you probably would have still done the same for me, so thanks, I guess.
Right. That has been 5 minutes. It is now time to keep moving on.
I like to imagine that Mothman Jr. on your shoulder just starts like buzzing and like chirping like a fucking alarm clock or something. Like,
So, all right. Time to get moving. Respite over, as they say.
So what are we doing? We're going to the center.
Go into the center.
And we're going to spray the mirrors and...
Trap this fucking ghost. Get it out of my house.
I open up the compact, and when it tries to get in it, we plunge it into the debt. And run the fuck on out of here faster than you can say Bob's your uncle.
all right. So, Carrot, you have the compact. Tess, you still have the dirt, correct?
Correct.
Aye.
And you all continue deeper into these mirrors. Still following Marigold's instructions, you keep to the left. You are very close now. Each turn comes quicker than the last as the spiral coils in on itself. Just like before, it is quiet. You are unaccosted until you round one more corner and you do get to the center. In the middle of the mirror zone, you see a metal ring hammered into the floor. It is carved with the same strange runes that you'd seen on the gloves and on the other mirror frames around you. And where you'd expect them to spark with electricity, like that electric blue of everything else, they lie dark and dormant. In the middle, you see an indentation in the ground just big enough for the compact mirror. You all assume that that's where it was before Marigold took it earlier that night. Surrounding the central ring are 6 mirrors, each positioned in a circle and all facing inward. And suspended in them are the victims. Each of them is standing suspended halfway into the mirror and halfway out, almost like they are a macabre living-ish painting.
Oh, fuck.
All of their eyes are closed and they seem to be in some sort of trance or stasis. You see in one of the mirrors both of Amy's 2 cats, Ghost and Bean, and they look asleep but mostly unharmed. You see Amy in the mirror beside them, looking very, very fresh, and her hands are still clenched into fists, and she is still holding a blanket from upstairs. I told you to run!
Amy!
I mean, she did for a while.
Fuck.
In the mirror beside her, you see Claudia, the real Claudia, but honestly, if it weren't for that green streak in her hair, you might not have recognized her at all. Oh. She is emaciated. She looks so thin, like the underlying bone might pop out through her skin. But you can see her chest slowly rise and fall. She is alive. The same cannot be said for the corpse in the mirror beside hers. But this is a corpse that none of you recognize. The body is withered, and it is a mummified husk. The skin is mottled with specks of dark green mold, its life and memory and entire being having been completely siphoned away. And in the mirror beside that corpse, you see Theo.
I thought you killed off my character faster than
say
Claudia, and I was about to say some words.
No.
Is it Marty?
Maybe.
You literally have no way of knowing.
Yeah, so you do see Theo. He looks better than Claudia, but not by much. He is still also alive, but his skin is pale and sunken and bruised.
Hey, God. Okay. Something I did need to mention. You said earlier that we'd know we were at the center when we got there. I don't know.
You know, I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sold.
sorry, man.
You know?
I really should
Like,
have been clearer with my
Is
dramatic
this the center? Who
monologue.
knows?
Shawn's gonna run up to Theo and try to pull him out, or at least see if he can.
Carrot will, of course, cover him with shaving cream. Like, I'm ready to get. I'm holding my shaving. Think of it. I'm holding it like a gun, and I'm being like a tactical boy. Like I'm like, if I see a ghost, it gets sprayed.
So cover as in keep an eye on, not cover as in coat.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, wow, cool use of your resource there, bud.
So Tess is gonna start like covering mirrors with shaving cream.
Excellent. We will do Shawn and Carrot first. You go to Theo and you're able to pull him out, no problem. It's a very weird feeling. It's almost like, first of all, like when your hands pass through this mirror, it is like your fingers are frozen. It is painfully cold, so cold it almost burns.
My good gloves don't help with this.
No.
Nah, they're not warm. They're not like designed for warmth, you know?
Yeah, they're designed for punching, not for mirror.
They're not even designed for that. They're designed to interact with ghosts.
Punching is a
an
form of
interaction.
interacting.
All right, you.
But yeah, so you're able to grab Theo, and it feels like you are lifting him through gelatin. It's very unpleasant, and it kind of sucks at him, but you are able to move his body out of the mirror. Tess, you're right behind, shaving creaming it over, and you have an unconscious Theo. He does not respond to you doing this.
I think we'd keep going down the line, right?
With the caveat that we leave the corpse where it is.
Yeah, and Shawn and Tess, like, you don't know who this is. You get Theo. Are you just putting him on the ground? Are you carrying him? Like, what's the story?
Put him in the recovery position.
No,
First aid, Christine is here.
the ground is wet. We can't put him in the ground.
Oh,
I mean, you're all standing in the wet also.
I shaving cream the ground.
Interesting. Okay. Talk to me about that right now.
So it'll dissolve and it'll make it like cloudy, so it's not reflective.
Is that how that works?
yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. Excellent. Yeah, so Shawn and Tess, you work together to get first Amy out of the mirror and then moving over to Claudia and the cats. Carrot, you just bend down and you give Mothman Jr. your second thing of shaving cream, and he like squirts it in his face first and then turns it around and is helping.
Damn it, Mothy. We've been over this.
I love we have this one thread of adorableness in the midst of like ultimate horror.
As you're doing this, Carrot, in the center of this water, the shaving cream hasn't dissolved quite as much yet. Emerging from the ground where that compact mirror was, you see rising up H219. Its head is lowered, kind of looking at its feet, but its arms one by one extend out, and then its hands were in fists, and one by one they open into fingers that reach for you. It looks up and looks at all of you. And you hear this voice echoed from the surrounding specks of glass, and you finally realize that it's using milliseconds of your memories, milliseconds of moments, stitching together your friend's words to form its own.
Oh.
And you hear it say, "Please let me get
Out.
Yeah, we got a vessel to get you out. Right, Carrot?
We want to get you out of this house. Don't worry about it. Just pop in here." And I hold out the mirror.
So let me get this straight. Let me just see if I have this right. This Oddity is like, "Hey, let me get out of this house," right? And y'all are like, "Hey, I fucking got you. Here's the thing that had you literally imprisoned for 8 years. Don't worry, just come back in here. It'll be totally fine. Pinky promise."
He said, "Please," you know?
So
Yes.
it's like if H219 was in jail. and like took 8 steps outside of its cell, and you fuckers opened the door to the cell and said, come on in.
Oh, okay.
It'll be better this time. Don't
right.
worry.
Well, when you say it like that, Marissa, the plan sounds silly.
As you're talking to it, like actually talking to it instead of just running away in fear or hitting it or throwing things in its face as you've done previously up till this point, it kind of like tilts its head at you a couple times, just like really listening. And the second it sees the compact mirror, Carrot, its expression darkens.
All right. I can tell that is not what you want, and I put it away.
While they're like talking to it, can like Tess, I would go over and try and like continue to eliminate places for it to come out of, because there's 2 mirrors left.
Yes. And I will say, Carrot, you and Mothman Jr., your shaving cream, like that cloudiness is slowly like encroaching towards the center where this thing is. So in a short amount of time, it will not be able to manifest through that. But yes, Tess, you go over to these mirrors to try to shaving cream them, and it's a bit unlucky that you do that.
Oh, is it?
Normally I'd make you pull, but oops a daisy, you're already doomed. As H219 sees this compact mirror, and out of the corner of its eye, like it turns to look at you, Tess, and H219 bends down and shoves all of its arms into the water. And from the remaining mirrors around you, all of the hands reach out and grab. I need everyone except Tess to make me a pull.
Can I in this moment, like, I recognize what's happening and like throw the bag of dirt to like one of my cohorts, like teammates? Like,
Yes.
Oh, wait, shit. I should have gone first. God damn it.
That's okay. It's all good. Oh, it wobbles, so it's wobbling. It's a wobble, weeble, wobble. Oh, God. Okay.
I still need to make a pull for my blindness also,
Oh,
right?
no.
Yes, you do. Thank you for reminding me that you need to make 2. Oh, no. Why am I so mean? Oh, God. Oh, fuck.
Okay, those
Okay.
are fine.
Okay.
I am also going to be fine.
All right, Carrot. Yeah, it's you can't. It's fine.
It's fine.
Don't. You have a moth son. You can't die yet. It's fine. It's fine. Whoa. Okay.
cool and good. Okay, Tess, I throw the bag to Shawn.
So yes, Tess, you see these arms start to reach out for you, and you throw the dirt at Shawn, but real unlucky. You don't have as good of a hold on it as you thought you did, and I'm pretty sure you said the bag was open, so the weight is a little bit weird. So you do throw it. It gets about halfway between you and Shawn, and half of the dirt falls onto the ground and out of the bag.
Can I pull to dive for it?
Yup. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Shawn, make me 2 pulls to dive towards this very blurry bag of dirt that Tess has launched at you. And as you do that, you know, your other successful pulls for you and Carrot, you see these hands shoot out of all of these directions towards you. Carrot, you feel it grab your safari hat and pull that into the mirror, but it misses you. Shawn, as you dive for it, these things barely miss catching you. And oh my God, I am so nervous. Oh my God. Oh fuck, guys, fuck. Okay,
so
we can't have all of you die. We can't do that. Yes, Shawn, you lunge towards this bag and you splash onto the ground on your stomach, almost like a baseball slide. You are able to catch it. Some of the dirt still falls out, but you do still have most of it. All at once, H219 scoffs, and the hands suck back into the mirrors that they were coming out of and shoot out through like different mirrors. Like there is one spot of shaving cream that you missed in the one where Theo was. A hand shoots out of that. One of the hands shoots out of the water as far as it can, but then that cloudiness of the shaving cream overtakes it, and that hand kind of sucks back in, and that hand shoots out from a different mirror. And they all lunge towards you, Shawn, because you are holding the dirt. Please make me a pull.
Oh, no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
the opposite.
Does it know the dirt is harmful to it?
It appears to.
It saw Tess throw something, and you try very hard to save it. It has
This
the
is
power
fair.
of deductive reasoning. So,
Oh no.
Did it make a poll for this?
it did. And wow, it's successful. Imagine. It has like 12 hands, so it's very good at Jenga, clearly.
Jacob, this tower is not good.
You can only touch it with one hand at a time. But anyway, I am not dead yet.
While this is happening, Tess, this ghost has a hold on you. It's like two of the arms are coming out of the mirror you're in front of, grasping you around the waist.
Okay, I have a pair of maybe helpful gloves, so I'm going to attempt to fight back at this thing.
Excellent. Order of operations. Shawn, all of these things lunge at you. All of these hands, these spindly fingers that are too long, that seem to almost grow a couple of inches the more that they reach for you. You're able to roll onto your stomach and crash to that edge of that ring towards these mirrors where the water is cloudy and the hands cannot reach you. Tess, you go to use your gloves to punch this thing, and you see the runes start to light up blue, and it's almost like a curse has been placed against you by the universe. They short circuit and do not work, and it passes through the ghost, and you end up just kind of punching yourself in your stomach, and it hurts real bad.
Cool.
At this time, we'll say, Carrot, have you been shaving creaming the rest of things?
Yes.
Excellent. The shaving cream water is closing in. It has maybe like 2 inches from where it will not be able to manifest out of the water anymore, as Mothman Jr. is just dutifully spraying the floor. You are almost done. There is one more mirror that you have to do, and H29C sees you do this. Carrot, make me a pull to get to the mirror before H219 does.
Oh, come on, Bob, you got this.
I got this.
I don't
I
wanna
got
kill you
this.
twice. I
I
don't
don't have
wanna
to
kill you
pull
twice.
two.
I don't.
It's fine.
I don't know.
It's fine.
Fuck. Okay. Damn. Carrot, you have faced some crazy oddities in your time. You faced the Fresno Nightcrawler. You faced Bigfoot.
Yep.
You faced fucking whatever else cryptid horse shit that you can.
Nessie.
Yeah, you rode Nessie over the fucking nest. Like, let's go.
Yes.
You're able to cream this mirror just as a hand was about to manifest through it. And as you do, the water becomes fully cloudy, and this thing shudders and spasms. There is only the compact mirror left. You hear H219 scream in the voices of all of your friends, almost as in this last act of defiance, and it sucks itself back down. And as it does, Tess, those arms that were around your waist pull you in as well behind it. And Shawn, you go to grab for her, but you are not fast enough. Tess, you get pulled down, and you see it manifest in the compact mirror, still holding Tess.
Dang.
Right, boy? Dead.
We can't. Can we get her out? Can you
Worry
can you
about
reach
that
her?
later.
In your moment of hesitation, Shawn, 3 arms shoot out of the compact mirror and latch around your throat. Please make me a pull.
Oh, Marissa!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Ice
sorry. I'm
cold.
sorry. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Get 'em.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Okay.
Why am I
right,
here?
Jacob,
Why is
one
Now
more.
your second
One more,
one.
Jacob.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I have so many regrets.
Oh.
I hate this. I hate this. Oh my god.
Oh, Jacob, excellent.
Shawn, as these things latch around your throat and they clamp down tightly. 2 are around your neck, 1 has the collar of your shirt, and they start to pull you down as well. You drop the bag of dirt on the ground.
Carrot will just close the compact, real fast, clamp it down shut to try and stop this.
Make me one more pull. Fuck.
Oh, here it is. Here it is,
All right.
friends.
Hold it. There's just one more.
Here it is,
There's
friends.
just one more. There's just
It's
one
fine.
more. You got it. You got it. Be careful. Be careful.
got
Sweet
this.
Lord God, please be careful. Please be careful. Please be careful. Fuck. Shawn, you feel yourself getting pulled down, and you can see Tess's terrified eyes meet yours for a moment as you get inches from this mirror. And then you feel a small like tuft of air from the force that Carrot slams this compact shut. The hands dissipate immediately, and Carrot, you shove it in the dirt, you bury it in there, you close the bag shut, and all of the mirrors around you shatter. All the ones around, all the ones in the ceiling, everything cracks and breaks, and a rainfall of these shattering, twinkling shards cascade around you, almost like music to the floor, as the entire mirror zone is destroyed. You have successfully contained H219.
Oh, Goldilocks is not gonna like this.
Does anybody wake up?
No.
Fuck.
Theo and Claudia and Amy are still unconscious at the
What
moment.
about the cats?
Cats are sleeping. You know, they're right.
So the cats might be fine
Yeah, the cats are just
since they're
asleep.
just asleep. That's pretty normal cat behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see an ear twitch, like a tail, like there's whatever. Like 100%, everyone needs to know the cats are 1000% fine. They're just taking a nap. Like life is good.
Well, I think I'm good for about 2 of these people. Can you carry one? And I think we just leave the cats here and come back for them because, you know, people first.
Yeah, screw the cats. I'll get Theo.
All right. And I go and pick up Claudia and Amy.
Make a pull. No, you're fine. You're strong. You're a strong man. You can get both of them. That's fine. Carrot, you take the bag. Mothman Jr.'s on your shoulder. Shawn, you take Theo. And you head upstairs and out of the house. Tess,
Yeah.
you are engulfed with this deep, aching cold. It seeps into your skin. Beneath your skin, it crystallizes inside your bones. The place that you find yourself in is dark and lit only by a dull, very distant blue light. It's like you are miles beneath a clear ocean looking up at a sun that you will never see. You are sitting, and sitting in front of you, you see H219, and it looks calm, and you hear it say again in all of your friends' patchwork voices,
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to be free. And as you look into its eyes, you get flashes of your stolen memories. You remember everything about Theo. You remember Battle of the Bunks before you left for Brighton. You remember Claudia, your entire friendship, dyeing her hair in the sink, moving her into the house. But you remember now, you weren't just moving in Claudia, you were moving both her and her boyfriend Marty. Gosh, how could you forget Marty? That they've been dating since high school. You both worked at the bookstore just as long as you'd worked with Claude.
No
He was such a goofball. You got up to so much shit together. And you're seeing all of this in your mind, but you're physically seeing, like with your eyeballs, the form of H219 getting a little more solid. And that shadowy etherealness for a moment takes the form of a young woman dressed in like old-timey colonial attire. And flashes of her memories start to mix with yours. You remember baking bread in a small house. You remember lying in a bed with a doctor beside you, and you remember walking through a cemetery. Decades later, almost a century later, your cemetery, where you were buried, where you watched generations of your family come by. And you remember someone with an ORCS logo on their arm approaching you, shoving you into a mirror, and throughout all of this, you're feeling so tired. All you've wanted to do since you got home was fall asleep, and you're having a hard time keeping your eyes open. And this oddity smiles at you, almost consoling you. You're looking at her into her white eyes, and slowly everything fades away. Shawn and Carrot, you take the other victims up from the basement, and when you reach like the top of the stairs, like the cats do kind of trail after you. They had woken up with all the commotion and they're fine. They run around and start doing cat stuff. And you take them to the garage, ?
Yeah, that's where Marigold is, right? So, yeah.
She's still alive.
I mean, oh, fuck.
Yeah, so that is where Marigold is, and it's also where about like 10 other people are at this moment. It seems like she's taken your advice, Shawn, because all of them are wearing gold shirts with ORCS logos on it. One of them is getting into like almost, it's like a hazmat suit, but made of like the same material and design as like the shit gloves. Like this may be another prototype that someone may have designed.
Oh.
Marigold is still sitting on the table. She has gotten what looks like more proper bandages, and one of these people in the yellow shirts is like tending to Lewis, who is on a stretcher beside her. You see it's not an ambulance, but it's like Carrot if your van got like 3 upgrades and looked much more professional and not taken care of.
My van is a piece of art. Thank you very much.
I thought you were going to say a piece of ass.
And as you approach, like everyone has been like running around, like setting up equipment, like she has called in the reinforcements in full force. And when they see you, they start rushing over to you. They take Amy and Theo and Claudia and they like move them over to another set of stretchers and start to, work on them. Marigold is on the phone when you approach, and you can hear her talking, and she looks just so over life and so disappointed, and she says, "What do you mean you're sending Cobalt? I thought that prick was still on probation." Fine, I'll have things under control, and oh my god. And she just like sets her phone down and like hobbles to her feet as she sees you two and them bringing the unconscious Amy over. What the fuck happened?
I think that Carrot would hand Marigold the bag and say, "You say Cobalt's coming?"
Apparently. Are you all right?
I best be off then.
Oh, give me a status update first. Look, where's Tess? Where's Tess?
As the adage goes, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
Marigold just like, it takes a second for her brain to register what you mean by that, I think.
That's fair.
She just looks absolutely gutted. It is like someone has just ripped the earth from beneath her. She has to like brace herself against the table, and she just kind of just like nods. It takes her a minute, and she says, okay.
She's in there. You might be able to get her out.
I'm sorry. What? She's what?
I gesture to the bag of dirt.
Okay. Sure. That's, maybe. Let me call Copper and we'll see what we can do. Fuck, I have to call Indigo. Damn it. Okay. You get out of here before Cobalt sees Mothman Jr. And none of you saw anything, right? And all of the rest of the Orcs agents kind of turn to her and they like nod and give thumbs up.
I give them all like crazy eyes.
Okay. They are all suitably intimidated. Your reputation precedes you, I do believe.
Perfect.
I like to think maybe Mothman Jr. gives like a menacing like in their direction.
Yes, absolutely he does. And the one nearest you, the one in the hazmat suit, like flinches back 3 steps. He's very afraid of Mothman Jr.
He snaps his scythes at them.
Yeah.
His little pincers.
Yeah. So Carrot, you're dipping. Do you have any like a cool exit line?
I don't think so.
The
I think
coolest exit lines are always requested. Okay, bye. You got anything cool to say?
It's an audio podcast. You can't dab on the way out. Like,
I walk out the door. I turn around in the doorway to see everyone, and then I raise both of my hands in like one is extended all the way out to the right and like at an upwards like 45-degree angle, and the other one is going across my chest at the same angle. And I'm leaning my head into it.
So Carrot, in a 2016 fad, dabs on his way out for real.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, Mothman Jr. also dabs, and you just fucking get in your Mystery Man machine. Like, you're welcome.
I say,
remember that week of paid vacation? You can consider me out of the office, effective right now.
I love it. But yeah, so Carrot exits stage right.
I'm glad you're happy that your character gets to, waltz off into the night.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
thank you.
Dab on the haters.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so Carrot, you will leave to avoid administrative punishment, and Shawn, these Orcs agents, they, have you sit down in one of the folding chairs. They, start fussing over you. Marigold is sitting beside you, and she's looking over at Amy, but she is just completely wrecked. And she just says, I am going to do everything that I can to get Tess out. It might not be soon, and it might not be possible, but I will make this right. And if it means anything, Shawn, I am so sorry.
And what about Theo? He's there, but he's not there.
And as you say that, not Theo, but Amy pops up on the stretcher, and she just pops up screaming, like just mid-scream, just like looking around, like she like throws the blanket she was holding like on the Orcs person who was looking over her, and is just like looking around completely dazed. Marigold immediately like gets up. Shawn, as you watch them embrace, like all the stretchers are lined up in a row, right? And the people working on Lewis just look very exasperated. They have no idea how to help this boy because nothing's wrong. He's just asleep. But you watch them for a minute, and Shawn, your mind is just blank. Like, it's almost like it's not ready to process everything that has happened in the last like 4 hours of your life. So you are sitting there just taking in all of this, and after a couple of minutes you see Theo sit up. And when he sits up, he's like reaching for someone, and he looks around and kind of dazed, and he rubs his eyes, and he sees you across the garage.
Shawn! I just had the greatest idea for a game. This episode of Dread and Breakfast sponsored by Barbasol. Barbasol, shave yourself.
Thank you for listening to Dread and Breakfast. As always, we'd like to thank Eli Schneider for our theme song and original music. You can find him and his band Open Doors on Spotify. We'd also like to thank Greyvoice for the use of their song, The Hole at the Center of Everything. Greyvoice is such an incredible artist, and I'm so excited that they agreed to let us feature some of their work, so huge thank you to them! You can find more of their music on Bandcamp and on Spotify. And of course, thank you to our friend, He Who Must Not Be Credited, for composing the original melody for Claudia's song. All additional audio is credited in the episode notes. And another thank you to our super talented friend Emily for designing this story's episode artwork. You can find more of her stuff on our website, dnbpod.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at dnbpod or on Twitter at dreadandbfast. We'd also super appreciate it if you could take 5 seconds and give us a quick rating and review on whatever podcast app that you're using. And also, tell a friend about the show. Text them. Call them. Mail them a haunted doll with a note about the podcast. However you want to get the word out. We'll be back next week for our breakfast episode, and oh my word, trust me, you need to listen to the breakfast. Jacob has committed a staggering betrayal and committed to a very good and horrifying bit, and you just need to hear it. Thank you so much again for listening, and as an extra special treat for making it all the way through the credits, we have a little post-episode scene that may or may not tie everything into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Or it might also just hint at the upcoming season 1 finale. But either way, enjoy.
He had a fucking Mothman. It was just the Mothman. It was so cool.
Big moth person?
No. It was like a basketball size. It was really cool.
Let's get this over with. Hi, Indigo, it's Marigold, and before you say anything or go on another one of your lectures, I know, I fucked up. But we've recontained H219, and we're in the process of documenting a new oddity currently trapped in a church, and yeah, we're going to have another ethics inquiry. But, Indigo? Indigo, are you there? Hello?
Hello.